Since the dawn of time, debating has been a thing that's been just kind of around. It's like human nature almost. Man, women, children, going beyond that, animals and plants, they all debated at one point, and they crushed friendships and they crafted friendships. What is the best restaurant? Who is the best anime waifu? Why does no one like cilantro? Debating is just part of our nature, and what we're going to do today is exactly sort of that when I make my tier list based on my favorite characters in the Dragon Ball villain universe, I guess. Now, before I start, a couple things. Number one, this is my opinion. Obviously, our opinions are going to clash. If I put your favorite villain on a lower tier, that's fine because it's my opinion, and you know we're allowed to have clashing opinions. Two, what I want you guys to do as well is let me know in the comment section below who are your favorite S tier villains, and if you want to also do one of these yourself, I will have the link in the description below. We actually did this on live stream on Twitch a couple weeks ago, and I figured I'm gonna do this on videos because it was a lot of fun to do. And if you want to see more different kind of content on a channel like this, then hit that thumbs up. Can we go for about 4,000 likes today in today's video? Now, with that said, the way I'm going to judge this is it's going to be many things. I'm going to go off of basically what they accomplished as a character. I'm going to go off of design, just kind of overall like that. So, I mean, sometimes you might have a good design, but they didn't do anything. Because of that, they might be lower on the ranking. We have Android 13. He's going to go right into D. I don't like Android 13. I don't like him. I mean, when he transforms, he became kind of doper, but the thing is, I was never a big fan of the androids in the Dragon Ball universe. I mean, which, by the way, Android 17, he's going to go into you know what, I'll put him in B. Both him and 18 can go in B. But Ryan, what about what he did in the Tournament of Power? We're talking about, you know, 17 as a character. His development becomes really, really dope over the course of time. But we're talking about just as villains and antagonists of the series, I guess. And at the time, the best thing about Android 17 was the fight that he had with Piccolo. It was one of my favorite fights actually in the Dragon Ball Z series. And with 18, when 18 crushed Vegeta's arm, that to me was really, really dope. It's like you have Vegeta who just went Super Saiyan. We know how powerful Super Saiyans are, only for them to get dethroned real quickly with a quick swift kick to his arm. So yeah, because of that, they got to go up here. But overall though, I was never a big fan of androids. Cell, I gotta say, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and put Cell right into A. The only thing that holds Cell back from going into S for me is I feel like after he became perfect, it kind of took away from his character. Because, like, think about it. When we get into the androids arc, we basically see 17, 18, we also see 19 and 20, which you get to go into dumpster fire, which I'll explain here in a second why. And we kind of see like the idea of androids. But then here comes this cockroach creature thing that's walking around, basically sucking up entire islands and cities, and no one knows anything about it. It was like very mysterious. He was dope until he became in his final form. When he became perfect, the thing that I'd never really liked about Cell is the fact that all he really wants to do was just test his abilities. I mean, I know why. It's because he had all the Saiyan cells inside him, so it makes sense. But I feel like if he was like a true villain and did some like villainous stuff, I mean, I guess he did some villainous things.
Please protect the plants, the animals, protect this world I love.
You've prattled on long enough, you miserable failure. It's changing.
I feel like it kind of took him away because he could be a lot more powerful of a villain. That makes sense. I mean, it was still pretty dope. It also spawned one of my favorite moments in the series where, you know, we had the warp Kamehameha. We also had Gohan obliterating him, going Super Saiyan 2 and all that good stuff, you know, stepping on Android 16. But I feel like he's not S tier material for me yet. But it's up there. It's like in between. 21, you get to go into B. I will put her higher, but everything that they did in Fighters for her story was just bad. She has a great design. She has an awesome transformation. You also got the idea of taking the whole android concept and fusing it with Buu. I thought that was dope. It's just that the androids, the story in Fighters was just so. The story in Fighters, if we have to be real about it, will be a dumpster fire. But we are going to go ahead and put her in B just because I see a lot of potential with her character. She definitely has one of the best designs in the game as well. In the story as well. So it's kind of like, you know what, we're going to go ahead and settle in the middle here with B. Babidi, you get to go right into, you know what? No, you get to go in D. I don't like Babidi. When Babidi was actually destroyed, it was the best thing to happen in the Buu arc because it basically unshackled Buu. Like, Buu was kind of in control or being controlled, so like he was kind of like predictable. But the second he took Babidi out of the picture, it's like, oh snap, what happens now? This man literally is just like, he could blow up the entire planet if he wanted to, which actually ended up happening later when Kid Buu came out. Baby! Oh baby! You get to go into S.
But Ryan, he's in GT. What are you doing?
The reason why he gets to go automatically into the S rank is because everything from design, from intention to execution, this man actually almost did it. He actually almost got revenge for the Tuffles, and I loved it. In fact, it was the only thing that I really truly enjoyed in Dragon Ball GT. Everything about it, from start to finish, the baby arc was good. Fight me for that. In fact, let me ask you a question. You know, I think I already mentioned, if I did mention already, but let me know your S tier villains of the series, but specifically, where does Baby rank for you? Let me know in the comment section below. BoJack, you get to go into C. I wasn't a big fan of BoJack, but he was kind of cool. The whole idea of the space pirates being trapped basically and sealed away was kind of dope. I didn't really like the BoJack movie. I like how it ended, and really all the BoJack movie did to me is fulfill the empty void in my heart of wanting to see Gohan do more that we saw in the Cell arc. So that was dope, you know, seeing him punch a hole into BoJack's, you know, chest and then blowing him up is definitely not one of my favorites. I mean, he's easily a forgotten character. Broly! Now here's the funny thing, watch this. Broly, you get to go in S, and then you get to go into D, and you get to go into C.
But right, it's the same character.
No, it's not. No, it's not. This Broly right here is fantastic. This Broly right here, all he is just a evil Super Saiyan. That's it. I mean, the original evil Saiyan, technically the evil original Saiyan will be Raditz. Put him in C. But the original evil Saiyan that I remember we saw, well, I guess he is still the original evil Saiyan. The original evil Saiyan that I'm trying to think of is Turles. I would put Turles actually more in the B side. But like Broly, what Broly served to us originally was he was like the first evil Super Saiyan. It's like, what if we have a Super Saiyan or a Saiyan that can go into Super Saiyan? But not only that, he went beyond that. He became the legendary Super Saiyan. And that was cool. He had a pretty decent design. But overall, though, his story I didn't really like it. So he was mad because Goku cried, and he was just upset, and then got PTSD over it or something. This Broly, I'm all for. We stand for DBS Broly. This one, I don't know about that. Captain Ginyu. Oh yeah, Turles. The thing I like about Turles is it kind of gave us like our first look at Evil Goku originally. And I remember when I was a kid, they replayed the first 3 movies over and over again. They replayed the World's Strongest, the Trio Might, and the Dead Zone. That's what it was. I actually enjoyed World's Strongest and the Trio Might. It was kind of dope. On top of that, it kind of showed like how sadistic this man was when he was just giving Goku the hands. And because I gotta put him in B, but Raditz stays in C just because, I mean, to be honest, like we didn't really get much of Raditz. All we really got out of Raditz was, hey,
Goku, you're evil Saiyan, you're my brother, and I'm here to take you back.
I don't know, I just never really was a big Raditz fan, which is funny because there's a lot of people that love Raditz in the series. Like, a lot of people love Raditz, they want him in fighters and stuff like that, and I'm like, I mean, I guess it's a good thing that we all have our opinions, right? Captain Ginyu, you get to go into B. I don't like the Ginyu Force at all. I thought that whole idea of the posing was stupid. If it wasn't for posing, I would actually put him probably damn near an A. But he gets to go in B just because I like the idea that, you know, you introduce a character that can steal bodies, and he actually really shook up the rhythm of Namek. Because like, by the time Goku showed up, basically we're at a huge advantage. Like, they stood no chance. But let's take this guy who literally has the ability to take away the one thing that the good guys had, which was Goku's body. What do you do then? That was dope to me. The whole concept of Captain Ginyu stealing bodies was just dope to me. Cell Jr., honestly, I'm gonna put Cell Jr. into C only because, I mean, it was kind of dope to see them pop out and then show you how powerful they were and then basically just take down the Z fighters like it was nothing. But I didn't really like them. Cooler gets to go to S immediately. Cooler, look man, after watching the Namek arc as a kid and then seeing Cooler get introduced in the movie and then going beyond the form that we thought was the final form was dope. This, to me, is a much cooler form, no pun intended, than Frieza's golden form as like the next stage. Metacooler was dope too. They were literally like thousands of them, and they just stomped out Goku and Vegeta in the end. Not, like, the Metacooler movie was to me one of my more favorite movies from the original releases in the Dragon Ball Z series. Dabura, so I feel like Dabura was a wasted character. He's not B, he's not D, and he's definitely not A and S. I'm gonna put him right here in the middle of C. You introduce the king of the demon world, and then he does nothing. He was just basically Babadi's bitch. He wasn't that great. I mean, he had a sword, which was kind of cool, which could give him some cool points. But overall, though, he just wasn't that, I don't know, I feel like we didn't really get to see what Dabura, like, could have done. Like, if your title is the king of the demon world, you better be doing way more than just spitting on people in terms of stone. Which is a dope ability, by the way. Dope ability. But I feel like the execution just wasn't there on him. Demegra. I'll put Demegra in B. I like the idea of introducing the first evil god, I guess, or demigod, whatever you want to call him. He was trapped in the crack of time. But I feel like it was kind of held back by the Xenoverse's writing. Design-wise, I'm not a big fan of. I just kind of like the concept of like an evil demon god. Dumpster fire. Dumpster fire. Do I even have to explain it? I don't like these two. Dodoria, where's Zarbon at? Is Zarbon on here as well? He is. You can go into dumpster fire as well. I do not like these two characters. Yeah, y'all both got to go in there. I don't like them. I'm sorry. If you like Zarbon and Dodoria, it's all on you. But to me, they're wasted characters. They were just really, really annoying to me. Ice Shenron. I'll put him in C as well. The only Shadow Dragon that I cared about was Sin and Omega Shenron. I gotta be real with you, all the other ones I just completely forgot about. Nova we like because Nova was technically kinda good. Ice I wasn't a big fan of. Frieza, S rank free. I mean, this is one of my favorite villains of all time. Everything from intention to execution.
No, don't, Frieza! Go!
To fear, to power. This man was it. All the forms he had, this guy was dope. And the fact he's still around says something. Garlic Jr., you know what? I know a lot of people hated Garlic Jr., but I'm not gonna put him in dumpster fire. I'm gonna put him into D. He was the first immortal villain that we got, which is kind of dope. So he gets to go into D, but I feel like they could have done a lot more with his character. General Blue, you know what? I'm gonna put him in A. Because General Blue, for what he was in the Dragon Ball series, the original Dragon Ball series, was dope. Also, the ability to paralyze. He was just, yeah, he was a good, you know, is Mercenary Talon here as well? Let's find out. You know what, since we're on this Dragon Ball kick, let's go ahead and put, no, you get to go into S rank. Demon King Piccolo was one of the greatest villains in the entire series. Mercenary Tao's not on here either. This is a terrible list. All right, well, if Mercenary Tao was there, he would be up there in A as well, next to him. Not the Z one. In Z, I don't really care about Mercenary Tao, but what he did in Dragon Ball was just dope. Demon King Piccolo killed Shenron. I mean, do I have to like even get into the details of how dope this character is? He's dope. By the way, something else to point out, I'm not putting these ranks amongst the tier list, so just because Demon King Piccolo is last does not mean that Frieza and these guys are ahead of him. I'm just gonna put them all in the same tier and not actually rank them amongst there, but like, I do want to point that out. Hachiak. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't remember anything about Hachiak other than the fact that he was basically a revenge machine. I'm gonna put him in C because I feel like he was just in another attempt at them trying to recreate like a villain like Broly and Android 13, which is like this big bulky creature that's powerful, but it just, I don't know, it just wasn't there yet. I don't like you. You get to go straight into D. I mean, I get what they're trying to go for. They were trying to create basically like a Godzilla style enemy, like this massive one, but Hirudegarn is not it. Hit! Now, Hit doesn't count as a villain. Again, he's more of an antagonist that became kind of an ally later, but he was dope. Because this is the first villain that we got after like Z basically ended, where it was like, all right, we have characters that aren't necessarily the most powerful, but they're dangerous. The fact that you control time was dope. But ultimately, Goku's plot armor was better than that, and they kind of got around that. Party went to put him in S because you guys know how much I love Hits. You know what? He goes to S. He goes to S just because of how unique he was and how dangerous he is. I mean, just looking at the filler arc in Dragon Ball Super when they showed him taking out those mobsters was dope. 100% dope. Janemba, S rank, S tier free. I know this is kind of ironic because I don't like, you know, Broly for basically doing nothing, which Janemba did nothing, but he was an evil reincarnation of all evil things that I guess were going on in hell at the time. But really what gets me with Janemba isn't the fact that he said nothing and just grunted and yelled the whole time, it's the design. This is one of the coolest designs I've seen in the entire series. He's got a sword, which is automatic, cool points. The overall character design is just dope, how powerful he was, being able to like teleport around. He's S tier free for me just because of that. But overall though, his story kind of was kind of lackluster. Jiren, you're pretty average. You get to go into B. All Jiren was, again, they were trying to recreate that powerful character in the universe. Jiren wasn't that great. He didn't even really speak until like halfway through the entirety of the arc. He was just powerful. And then ultimately you find out that it's just because it was all like a path to get powerful and get revenge. I don't know. I didn't really like Jiren's character. His design wasn't that great. He was cool. You know, he gave us some memorable moments from Super, but I'm not a big fan. Kid Buu, A rank free. Ooh, Buhan as well. We'll do this. And you get to go into, you know what? Technically, he should go into A as well. I want to put him into B just because I'm not the biggest fan of his design. Again, I'm ranking this list based on what they've done in the series and kind of like with designs. Buhan was dope because you take the concept of Buu, give him the intelligence of Gohan, the smartness of, intelligence and power of Gohan, the strategic wisdom of Piccolo, and then whatever the hell Gotenks gives him, power and I guess the zaniness and goofiness and cockiness, whatever. But he was dope. But then when you take all that away, you have this sadistic, like, walking piece of bubblegum that's just blowing stuff up, and I like that. Again, it's just the design was kind of simplified, but he was so unpredictable. That's what made him so dangerous. The fact that he was just mocking Vegeta like when he broke his arm was like, he's good, he's a dope villain. King Cold, you get to go into B, which is funny because I like usually everybody from the Frieza family, but King Cold I just never really liked. He just, I mean, to be fair, he didn't do anything. He just kind of arrived on Earth, and by the time he could do anything, Trunks basically took care of him. But yeah, he gets to go there. Lord Slug. Now normally I would put Lord Slug lower, but actually I've been reminding myself of how dope Lord Slug was. They basically try to recreate the idea of like Demon King Piccolo and have this like Namekian come down, get his wisdom back, not his wisdom back, but his youth back, and become so powerful. He was pretty dope, but ultimately he's just not that memorable, to be honest. Majin Vegeta, S rank free. I don't even have to tell you why. I mean, We see like the Prince of Destruction, as they call it now, return. Kind of like seeing like the Vegeta that we got originally when the series came out. Which, by the way, where is Vegeta? You're gonna go right up to S. You're gonna go right up to S. He was a dope villain. He was a dope villain. And what Majin Vegeta does for us, excuse me, my voice is like dying. What Majin Vegeta does for us is it takes this character right there and adds a Super Saiyan aspect to it. Granted, it wasn't like fully ill intent, I guess. I mean, granted, he did blow up literally an entire stadium, but it was mostly like a thing to kind of like go back into his main roots so he can fight Goku, get stronger than him, something like that. It was dope. It was definitely dope. This is by far my favorite form of Vegeta, so that's easily S for me. Oh, you get to go up here, and you get to go down here. I don't like the fact that he became this big half blobby thing, but everything that Zamasu stood for was dope. I mean, he actually had, again, he had intent. He almost had the execution. He stole Goku's body. Like, Zamasu was dope. Zamasu arc is my favorite arc in Dragon Ball Super, hands down, free. Mira. So, I like his design. I'm gonna leave him in B. I'm gonna leave him in B. The only reason why is because he's just basically a Walmart version of Cell. He was just, they were going through time, gathering all the best genes. He was created by the DNA of the greatest fighters of all time. So basically, he was just Cell, but the demon version of it or something. I don't really know. So I'm gonna put him in B. He has a dope design. His design is definitely A rank, but overall though, I feel like he's gonna balance out on B. Carrot, I'll put him in A. I mean, he turns people into carrots. Like, it was pretty dope. I feel like they should bring him back as like a zany episode, like how they did with Arale in Dragon Ball Super. Just see what happens. I mean, technically, he should still be hanging out on the moon, right? Well, no, technically, actually, the moon was destroyed. Huh. Whatever, you get to go into A. Moro, you get to go into S. You introduce a character that's powerful, yet very, very wise, and he also has the dangers of magic. And I literally just read the most recent chapter of Super this morning, which was chapter 48. He's dope. So I got to the point where basically they got the wish. Moro's dope, and I feel like the fact that I love his character right now and the entirety arc means that I'm going to definitely have him in S rank later, so you definitely got to go S rank right now. I'm curious to see what else they do. I mean, worst case scenario, they can completely throw him away as a character and he'll go down to A. But for right now, as of right now, everything he's done, S rank free. Nappa, I don't like Nappa. You have to go and C. I don't know. He was like a Saiyan brute. It didn't really do anything. And then he got his ass beat twice by both Goku and Vegeta. I just didn't really like him. He was just like the loudmouth goon that was following around with Vegeta. So he gets to go into C. Nova, actually Nova is on this list. I'm gonna put, where's Ice? I put Ice right there. I'm gonna put Nova above just because he had a better, I guess, development throughout the series. I guess throughout that fight. But still, there's nothing special about Noah that was memorable. I always forget he's a character. The only reason why I know Noah exists is because of Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. Shenron, again, I wasn't a big fan of the Shadow Dragons, so I'm just gonna put him in B as well, just because, again, I just have nothing to say about that. I wasn't a big fan of GT post-Baby. In fact, you get to go into D. Good news, it's not Dumpster Fire, but Super 17 was just a terrible arc. We're not even gonna talk about that. Oh, you get to go in Dumpster Fire. You literally did nothing. Why are you even here? All that he gave us was, you know what, you get to go into D just because we watched Vegeta literally obliterate you, and that was actually very, very satisfying. Rildo, didn't really like Rildo either. You get to go into D. Even the whole transformation thing, I just feel like it was just like a missed opportunity. It's funny because GT was filler, but this felt like super filler, if that makes sense. So yeah, I mean, even the design's not even that great. I don't even know what they were thinking about that. Rose, D rank. No, I'm just kidding. I can already see how a lot of you guys getting angry. You get to go right next to Zamasu there. Goku Black was dope. Everything about Goku Black was dope. Like, I just remember every single week being at the tip of my seat, like, what's gonna happen this week? Who is Goku Black? Yada yada yada. He was a great character and it still is. Definitely a fan favorite. Cyberman, Dumpster Fire, don't care about them. Salza or Thouser. He was more annoying than anything. So I'm gonna go ahead and put you in C actually. Because between Naze and Dory, he was one of the better of Cooler's goons, but I just didn't really care for him that much. Silas, I'm gonna put Silas into A because I like the idea of him, because he essentially is, if you guys watch Yu Yu Hakusho, he is Sensui. He is basically a good guy that turned bad, and I'm kind of upset that they wasted his character on Dragon Ball Heroes. Like, I would love to see this character in like either like a filler arc or in a manga or something, but Silas is dope. So he's literally Sensui. He is Sensui from Yu Yu Hakusho, and I love the design. Granted, I mean, it is basically Walmart hit with alien dreads or something, but he's dope. He's dope. Popovich, D. I don't care about him at all. He was just trash. Super Buu, you get to go up. You get to go into B. Yeah, I'm gonna put you in B next to Buu. Even though he has a better design than Buu, I didn't really like that. I didn't really like him that much. If that makes sense. Like, he was dope, but like he was just kind of annoying. Well, you know what? He also did eliminate all of Earth though with the human extinction attack. You know what? You get to go into A. You get to go into A. I didn't realize I liked the Buu characters this much now until I'm actually doing this tier list. Because to me, Buu was always in the bottom of the list of my favorites that I grew up with. But like, yeah, you know what? You get to go into A. You get to go into A. He was a threat. He definitely was a threat, and he was pretty smart, being able to like trick Gotenks into absorbing him as well as Gohan as well. He definitely earns a spot, and he blew himself up. Yeah, no, he's A free. A free. Zamasu, you get to go into A. I'll explain why in a second. Yakan in the trash can, and you get to go right next to Mira in the B. Because again, it was kind of dope that they had basically this like demon pair that was traveling through time and changing everything. But I feel like, again, they didn't have the execution just quite there yet. On top of that, how are you gonna go through time and have the ability to just like really mess with time, but you don't do it that well? Again, these three characters right here are held back by Xenoverse's bad writing. So because of that, they're there. Now, the reason I'm putting Zamasu on A is because I actually did not like Zamasu's character. Like, he's a good villain, absolutely good villain. And I feel like, I don't know, I just didn't really like his design that much. But everything that these two did right here was a lot. I mean, even then they're the same character. I mean, I feel like I'd have to put him in. He's gonna go in S. He's gonna go S. But to put it this way, he is definitely my least favorite of the forms, if that makes sense, between these three right here. Like, Merge Zamasu was dope, or Fuse Zamasu. Rose, definitely A1, or S1, I should say. But Zamasu, I just didn't like. He was annoying. Zamasu just annoyed me, because like he was just basically jealous over mortals and what they were doing, and he had like some really radical views. And I guess that's probably why he was a good villain, because you didn't like him. Yeah, definitely yes. Okay, so that's it. That's that. Now again, anything that's missing from this list, it's going to be just due to the fact that it wasn't on the actual tier maker. If you want to make your own, I will have it in the description below, so feel free to check that out. But yeah, this is just my opinion, and I figured I'd put this together in the form of videos because it could be a lot of fun. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Rhymestyle. I'll see you next time. Peace.